Did you hear that real estate commissions got decoupled? Great. Now let me tell you what that actually means for sellers, because some sellers are making very expensive mistakes. For years, sellers would typically offer compensation to a buyer's agent through their listing brokerage and their listing brokerage through the MLS. Now, things have changed. Buyers may be responsible for negotiating and paying their own agent separately. Sounds simple enough, right? But here's where it gets interesting. I'm starting to see some sellers think, well, if I don't have to offer compensation to a buyer's agent, why would I? Strategically, that's a completely different conversation. Technically, you don't have to budget for a buyer's agent compensation. It's now the buyer's legal responsibility to make sure their agent gets paid. But you can budget for this if you want to, and that's the whole point of this video. See, buyer's agents control a tremendous amount of traffic, and just in Oakland County alone, we're talking 15 to 20,000 agents working with an average of 8 buyers right now. That's upwards of 16,000 buyers working with agents. If your property becomes one buyer's avoid because the compensation is weak or even non-existent, you may have just reduced the exposure on your property dramatically. And less exposure usually means one thing: less money to you. Here's the irony. Some sellers will try to save a percentage point or two when listing their property and accidentally lose 5 to 10% on the sale price because they have limited competition on their home. That's not savings, that's expensive math. And there's another important thing sellers should understand right now. Not all brokerages are handling this situation the same way. Some brokers are still charging the entire commission amount through their listing brokerage and then sharing a portion with the buyer's brokerage at closing. Personally, I think that opens the door to unnecessary confusion and potential liability issues for themselves and for you down the road. For the record, we don't handle it that way. What I like about the ruling is that there's clarity and transparency, because buyers understand what they're agreeing to with their buyer's broker. Sellers understand what they're agreeing to with their listing brokerage, and now everybody knows where the money's going and why. Honestly, while I had major issues with this ruling in the very beginning, once I thought it through, that's how it should be. Now let me be crystal clear about something else. The listing agent you hire should not be chosen because they're the cheapest. They should be chosen because of their skill, their negotiation ability, their integrity, and their past results. The strength of their marketing system is a must. Professional photography, walkthrough videos, social media campaigns, targeting, staging guidance, floor plans, drone video, print and marketing exposure, that all comes out of the listing agent's pocket before they ever see a dime. The right agent isn't an expense. The wrong one is. And in a shifting market such as the one we're in now, strategy matters more than ever. So yes, broker fees have become decoupled and things may have changed on paper, but human behavior has not. The homes that create the most excitement, the most exposure, and the most competition, those are the ones that still tend to win. So this brings me to one other point I'd like to make, and that is, just because an agent works with buyers doesn't make them a listing agent. It takes much more skill and planning to be a listing agent. It takes tremendous negotiating experience as well to defend your equity position in the property that some agents desperate for your listing give away before you even sign a contract. So select your agent wisely, and some agents get more for their clients than others. Now I'd like to show you how we do that. In the end, if you're thinking about selling, make sure you're making decisions based on net profit, not just what sounds cheaper up front. In closing, if your listing agent is sharing agent's compensation through their brokerage, that should be a red flag to you. Second, if they're not having you at least budget for compensating a buyer's agent, this should be a red flag. If they offer to cut their compensation just to get you to list with them, this should be a red flag. Are you following me here? No, you're not obligated to pay a buyer's agent if you don't want to any longer. But you can if you want, and it may be a wise choice to at least budget for that scenario. We can discuss this further when we get together. If you're in Metro Detroit and would like to chat, let's do that. And this way, you can determine for yourself if I'm the right agent for you. And if I am, then you can invite me to represent you. Fair enough?